Once upon a time, I had the dream of building a main DPS Layla, and really one of the best weapons that we could use would be Harbinger of Dawn. Now don't get me wrong, that weapon is pretty good, but what if there was a weapon that could potentially be even better? That means we just need to go through and do all the different parts of this event, and we will be able to get ourselves a weapon that will hopefully allow us to have main DPS Layla. Today, I want to give both DPS Layla and this new 4-star weapon a bit of a test run. And also, the Black Sword is probably better than this new event weapon at a high refinement, but you have to pay for that over the course of many months. Now, I both do not want to pay, and I do not want to wait. So instead, we will be using this one. And at the same time, just look at this. Look at how well it matches her outfit. It's like they made this specifically for her. Oh, I have found the first thing we need to farm, and the second thing we need to farm. I'm not the best theory crafter with stuff involving Genshin, but I think this would be our best team. You could argue that Kazu would be better than Xilonen here. However, this Xilonen is currently sitting at C2 with her signature weapon, whereas my Kazuha is C0 with an Iron Sting. But let's go ahead and get this weapon leveled up. Now this sword gives us 16% additional crit rate to normal and charged attacks, but the downside is it doesn't actually display the number. Not that it really matters, but I just like seeing the numbers. So we have 40% crit rate. If we put up our shield right now, we still have 40% crit rate, but we do get the additional crit on normal and charged attacks. Currently, our Layla's talents are 9 across the board. Technically, the skill and burst are level 6, however, we have C6, so they're brought up. Which means, yes, her normal attack is her highest talent level because I've wanted to build a DPS Layla for a while. And let me be clear, I do not expect this build to perform very well, especially with things like the Spiral Abyss HP pool of enemies just getting higher and higher. Not to mention that this rotation, it seems like they really want you using Natlan characters. But I want to do this anyways because I feel like it could just be fun. Speaking of things that are gonna be fun, this domain won't. You see, ideally, what we would like to do here is a 4-piece Retracing Bolide set. That would get us an additional 40% normal and charged attack damage bonus. But currently, I only have 2 good pieces on that set, and it's the Feather and Flower, the easiest ones to get. As we can see here, the feather's pretty nice, and the flower is also decent. Look at this. Look at these fools. Building Layla with these sets, who needs that? They're trying to mislead you. Clearly, Retracing Bolide is the set that you want. And for main stats, I want attack percent, cryo damage, crit. And I don't imagine that that's going to be very easy for us to get, at least when you factor in that we also need good substats. I may end up settling for some kind of copium pieces, but hopefully that won't be the case. Well, there is a full day's worth of resin spent, and I can't say we got anything worth using. In terms of sanctifying elixir, we have no sanctifying elixir. So the next best thing is just hoping that we can craft something. Though I'm not gonna lie, I've already done this pretty recently, so I don't expect we'll have too much fodder. Although maybe I'm wrong because we have a lot of fodder. What the heck have I been farming? I would like to point out, I'm aware that this probably hurts a lot of people, including myself, to just craft all of this onto the Retracing Bolide set. Ooh. We did get cryo damage, but you see, I'm trying to make a video, and if I don't do this, then I can't make the video. And even if this build ends up sucking, which it most likely will, my brain just needs to see what it's capable of. Thus, the crafting shall continue. Here goes the 3rd batch, 4th batch, 5th batch, and I'm really not getting anything worth keeping. Well, I finally got a piece I wouldn't mind rolling, although we already have a flower, so not great. Okay, so that was a lot more artifacts than I thought we would be able to craft. I did end up blocking some that I'm definitely not putting on her, but that it was too hard for me to not lock. Like double crit defense goblet. I don't know when the heck I'm going to use that, but it has double crit, so I had to keep it. Ideally, I would like a crit rate circlet, which we got one of that had crit damage. So we will roll this and pray that it only goes into crit damage because the rest of these are useless. First roll. Okay, good. Second roll. Okay. If we get at least one more crit damage roll, that's good. Level 16 defense percent, not ideal. How is it that I had so many artifacts, but I have so little fodder? Well, we gotta go all the way to 20 with this and hope that it's crit. That's not crit damage. That is just emotional damage. But we'll put that on because we don't really have a better choice and we do need that crit rate. In terms of sands, there was nothing amazing. I'm just kind of hoping that one of these two rolls into the other crit, which this one does. Okay, let's, I don't. Where are the rolls? Where's the last one? Why does it look like this isn't even powered up? What about you? You want to roll crit rate as well? Maybe? Maybe not. And then the only way I use this is if it only goes into crit rate. Oh, great. Here we go. Oh, I see. I understand. Oh, you don't understand. It did end with 14% crit rate and then 2 rolls into flat defense. I did level up another flower. Not that we needed to. Our current one is 6% crit rate, 21 crit damage, 9% attack. This new one is 6% crit rate, 20. Are these like the same? No. More crit damage and more attack and same amount of crit rate. Okay, so we just use this instead. Obviously, not the best pieces, kind of some copium mixed in, but we get our 4-piece set and our stats are looking like this. But remember, we get 16% additional crit rate. Not to mention with Cryo Resonance, we get an additional 15% crit rate. So actually with both of those, we are over capping on crit rate. And then thanks to Xilonen C2, Cryo characters get 60% crit damage. So really we're around 100 crit rate and 197 crit damage. I would go ahead and sacrifice some of that crit rate for more crit damage, but I don't have the pieces to do that. And how fitting that I just claimed my daily commissions, and in the video where I'm building a DPS Layla, we reach max friendship level with her. This means that Layla's build is pretty much done, but I don't think you guys are ready for Chongyun's build. We keep him at level 70 for a very important reason that you don't need to know. He's got a sacrificial greatsword, so we can use his E more often, which of course is level 5. That's crucial. I feel so stupid because infusion duration, it says it goes up, but like you get the infusion as long as you're in the radius, and it's way longer than 2 seconds. It's 10 seconds. So I don't actually, is this like if you leave the radius, that's how long it still persists for? I guess I should level that, but it's okay because he has amazing artifacts. Look, he's here for the noblesse buff and to put up his skill. And other than that, it doesn't matter. Then we have Shenhe, a character that some of you may not even know exists because it's been so long since her last rerun. She is just on attack, attack, attack because all you care about is attack. Talents are 699, and she's using a weapon that some of you also probably don't know exists because it was an event weapon, which means you can't get it anymore. Then obviously, Xilonen is on the Scroll of the Hero of the Cinder City with just as much defense and some healing bonus as we could get. I will say the healing bonus is more for when I use her on a Farina team. Here, I probably could go just for more defense. And it actually looks like I can squeeze out a little more attack percent on this flower. And with the 25% attack bonus from this feather, she gets up to 3,320 attack. Like I said, I probably should level up Chongyun's skill, even though I don't really know what it changes. I'm sure I could look it up, but that's what you guys are for, right? After a touch more farming, we can bring Chongyun's skill up to level 9. So now we have 2.8 seconds of infusion. Don't know if that matters, but we have it. The question now is, where do I want to test this? I guess I can go fight Scaramouche. I'm really not a huge fan of this fight, but I'm well aware that this is kind of what people expect when you're doing a damage test. So I'm not going to do everything. We're just going to put up some of this stuff and then not be able to hit him apparently. I'd actually know what, we're going to put up everything. I don't know if her burst actually matters. I probably should know that. Let's see. What are we hitting for? Almost 30,000 per charged attack. I'm realizing that her sword's not really long enough for this. I can sometimes hit him a little bit. Oh, Leila makes this part so easy. I love it. Oh, what do you mean you missed? How do you even do that? All right, it's panic time. What goes first? I don't know. Let's start with this. We'll go into this. Probably not the right thing to do. Oh, it's definitely not the right thing to do, actually. But you know what? It is my first time doing a full rotation. So get off. Chongyun off the field. What are you doing? All right, 43,000. I'm sure it would have been higher if I actually got all my buffs at the same time. Look, as I said, I hate fighting that boss trying to do a damage test. It never goes right, and something stupid always happens. Like my character getting stuck underneath the boss and not letting me switch characters. Like I mentioned, the Spiral Abyss is not really set up for doing fun damage tests with wacky builds. They want you to go try hard. Oh, but charge attack damage increased. All right, well, I have to try. I'm aware that you can't freeze these guys, but is it still better for me to bring the cryo on that side? No, because there's Skywatch, and I will not be able to hit that. But something tells me this team is not set up for handling a large number of enemies. Also, our Chongyun is so gonna die here. I did not realize that Xilonen has not been level 90 this whole time. I'm going to go ahead and do that because that's a lot more defense. Oh, perfect elemental mastery when I don't need it at all. That'll be great. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, not too bad so far. Here, I wouldn't mind having Kazu instead just for the grouping potential, because with Chongyun's skill, we are doing a bit of circle impact. But luckily, there's no timer here. Once again, I can't say this is gonna help us too much, but now we actually have a timer to deal with. We are hitting close to 30k per charged attack. I'm wondering if because Chongyu's on the Noblesse set, should I be using his burst and then swapping to Shenhe, because then she'll have more attack? There's so much buffing that has to take place between all this switching. We have to make sure that the shield's always up. We gotta make sure Chongyun's skill is always up. But so far, we've been getting 3 stars. Oh, this is good. But like I was gonna say, I kind of doubt that's going to persist on the floor 12, especially with how scuffed my rotations are. All right, let's try a little different rotation here. We'll do this into that, and then the skill, then your skill, then the shield, and then normal attack. 33,000. That's pretty nice. Until all the buffs were off, and then I have to reset everything up again. But we got all of our stars on floor 11, which means it's time for floor 12. Wait, you put a boss with other enemy. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Oh, I hate these things. What? No, you can't do that. You forced me to bring an archer for the second half and forced me to bring Geo for the first half. How about this? I'll do chamber 1 and then I'm gonna stop. Looks like we'll also be taking burst damage. Dare I say, them putting these enemies in here is a crime. I swear we just had a floor where this blue thing was like the only enemy, and now there's 6 of them in there. Oh, right, 2 of these and then boss. How much damage? Still decent charge attack damage, but on a floor like this, it's not gonna be enough. Okay, now we got Big Boy, who's gonna take 10 seconds just to stand up. Luckily, we do have shields, so we can reflect the stuff that he does. That'll help us a little bit with extra damage. In terms of rotations, it's really easy to go through this, but the damage is just not enough for the current floor 12. However, I still think this could be a fun build just to run around in the overworld with. And obviously, it does work with some combat outside of floor 12. So basically, it works in any of the fun combat parts of the game. While I was editing the previous part of this video, I did kind of decide that this would probably still be better to run on her than the one that we were running. Because with all of our buffs, we'd still get up to about 96% crit rate, and now we go over 200% crit damage. Yes, there is now a 4% chance for us to miss a crit, but I think that that's still better overall. And I do need to fight Arlecchino anyways, so I might as well try to bring this team in, because there is a point where you have to do charged attacks, and that's what this team does. So we'll set up a bunch of stuff. We'll start, okay, we won't start doing charged attacks, and now we'll do charged attacks. 20, look, it's okay. I won't sit here and pretend that this is the biggest damage I've ever seen. All right, here we go. It is charged attack. Where are you going? Get back. I need to do charge attacks. Please land. Thank you. Okay, here we go again. Charged attack time. Boom. Easy. Then we move on to phase 2, where immediately we run, because she just dive bombs right away. Here we go. Better rotation. I got this. I did it wrong, but it's fine because it was close enough. So they're 26k. Okay. Can you stop running away from me? Yeah, I mean, it's decent. And look, on the bright side, we practically never take damage because of the shield constantly being up. So it's pretty safe to run. And I think a testament to that is our Chongyun, who is level 70 with unleveled artifacts, but he is still doing just fine. Now, I would love to say whether or not I recommend anyone actually builds this team, but considering that Shenhe is practically impossible to get now, it's kind of difficult to say so. And even outside of that, it's not the most effective team, but I do think it can still be fun to run occasionally. Also, for the time being, I'm sure there's going to be a character that uses this sword better, but there was practically no one that could really take advantage of this, so I had to make some sort of team that could. With that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy, and as always, I will see you all next time.